Hello everyone and welcome to the Grand Prix Classics season, what are we at? Season 6, race number 5 here in Spa. For the Simslick racing community, I am Findict, I am your commentator today, and we are looking at what is to be an exciting race in the context of a very exciting championship. Now, the whole context of the championship, I think, is best viewed in the context of how this series came to be. We'll talk about it in a bit, or this season came to be, like the previous season. Talk about it a little bit. Yeah, first I want to take a quick look at the calendar, show you where we are today. Of course, we are on the 26th of October in Belgium, Spa circuit, 5th race of the season out of 8. And after this one, we're well over halfway then. So you might be asking, well, if we're halfway through the season, then we should have someone on top. That is a very good chance of being the champion, and that is true. Now, I have a new graphic for this. It's not quite pretty, but I think it shows best what's going on here. We've got the Crow on top with 55 points. He has had 2 second places and 2 first places this season, which is incredibly consistent, great pace overall as well, and I believe he had a chance to win the first 2 races as well. So the Crow really does look like the fastest person this season, bar none. Like, he's genuinely the quickest. I think earlier he said that first half of the season was probably his better half, so it's not, you know, it's not done and dusted. It's not foregone conclusion that he will win the championship, but it's looking very, very strong. And why that is interesting is that last season we had Domska with a super dominant first few races. I think he won all of the first 4 races, except for maybe one that he lost to Dikra in the rain. But this season, not so much. He is behind. The credit gap is substantial, but not impossible to overcome. So there is absolutely still hope for him. And what is really interesting is that while season 5 Domska was dominant, the seasons before that, season 2, 3 and 4 were all won by Alan, and he stopped joining last season. There was a big power vacuum essentially, and now people are struggling to fill it in. Domska last time did it, but not without issues on this track. On this particular track, he had to fight off. I think it was Gerald's early on in the race. Later on, he had a decent gap, but he still didn't win that race. That was Dustin, who's currently in 5th. That was in 3rd currently. Marcus in 4th, ahead of Dustin, who won the race here last season. And there were Gerald's, who every race that he did finish, he finished in 4th place. No podium for him yet, but maybe today he can change that. Sorrow Randers, who's not had the most consistent of seasons so far, although with a red background means that they didn't finish that race. And Catalor and Michael in the top 10. I think he will be very happy, honestly, with that. He wants to be ahead of Catalor, I'm sure, but in the top 10 in this grid is nothing to sneeze at. We go to the next place. JJ is a very good driver. Silver's a good driver. I've got a couple of people that have joined one race. I don't think Keza is joining today, as far as I'm aware. We've got Mercury and PC Finch, who for this opportunity trying to get their points. Both a little inexperienced, but both, I think, very willing to learn and doing a great job at it. Anything else? Well, I think Ben Summers hasn't joined our race yet. That's for the McLaren team. I feel like that's me being out of date. I think he shouldn't be in there anymore. But yeah, that's how the season's gone so far. We do have one reserve driver. He's not driving currently. Let's look at Mercury. He was at the press conference earlier today. Seems like a very, I think, experienced in terms of driving, but not so much in Formula cars, he mentioned. He still has a little bit to learn for those. Regardless, he's here today. And yeah, hopefully this result will be better than his last. His last was in Silverstone. He got a P10. That nets him 3 points for the championship. Very respectable. So, yeah, that fully counts. So we've got Randers joining the lobby now as well. So we've got the grid of 16 that we expect for today. Yeah, currently in the lead, Statue also in the lead, of course, on the hot lap leaderboard. It's where he likes to sit. He is very, very quick. And yeah, hopefully for Statue, we talked about it in the press conference. He was there too, which is to be uploaded to YouTube. I haven't gotten around to that yet. We'll be done after this race. Statue has said, roughly, in rough terms, he's getting a little bit more comfortable with his car in the race. Of course, at hot lapping, he's very, very quick. No problems there. He's getting a little bit more comfortable, and a race would absolutely be in the cards for him. I fully believe that it could be as early as today. And in fact, like, this season has really looked. If you look at the stats, the Pro is just by far the fastest driver, and while that is likely true, there's every opportunity for every other driver to catch up. And if enough drivers do that, then the season can look a lot different very, very quickly. So if we see the Crow struggling today, I don't like to see a man struggle, but it would be very good for the championship, you know. Like seeing McLaren struggle in real Formula 1, you know. Maybe you're a McLaren fan, but you can't deny, for the championship, that's good. Dustin here, of course, winner last season on this track, which was the final race of the season then. Now it's just past halfway. He does like this track. It's not his favourite. It's not Silverstone. Of course, I mean Canada. No, he likes this track. He likes this track. Canada, he believes he should have won. Maybe today he can win this. It's very hard to tell. We're looking at practice, we're looking at the times. Cavalo is on top, but Cavalo is also, let me remind you, P9 in the championship, right? He's not bad, but it's not the quality you need, I think, to win races on this grid. I think there's many, many leagues where Cavalo could join and win races and win championships. A man's P9 in this league, because there's genuinely 8 better drivers, and I think that is crazy. Fun fact though, we have the entire top 12 here today in the standings, so there's absolutely going to be fights here for points. And if we can get a clean run of it, I think most races we finished with about 12 drivers, no matter how many people joined. Hopefully today we can get a much more complete finishing standings. That would be good. I do want to mention Dmitry Petrov. Most people have already been introduced across the season, and we'll briefly rush through them in a moment. Dmitry Petrov, I think, is the only driver that either hasn't joined the season yet. I don't think he has. He hasn't got any points, at least. He's actually the only person on the grid who, well, everybody else on this grid today has scored points. So what you gonna do today? Honestly, he's just as much of an unknown to me as the first time he joined a race with us, which was last season. Then he joined only 2 races, and this season I feel like he hasn't been able to join yet. Maybe after today I'll have a better view of what he can do. Currently, of course, the times aren't there yet, but it is practice, so what does that mean? Nobody knows. Oh, and he's also struggling exactly with the same thing that everybody else struggles with. He hasn't quite mastered it. And out of that corner in particular, I think it's really difficult to get a good traction on. So yeah, that makes a mistake there is absolutely not strange. very normal in getting comfortable with the car, with the conditions, getting ready for the race. That's currently P3 in practice. Of course, I need to remind you every single time that means nothing. The Crow has set a decent time so far. Looks like he's pushing. I think I was told I can turn on the splits, and I think that might show me in practice as well as qualifying what exactly people are doing. So I need to remember to do that. I'll have a little bit more information. So if you are watching today, please do tell me, who are you supporting today? Is it Sorrow, who just took first place in this practice session by 2 seconds, and that 1:45.5 is a very strong time. It's probably not pole position. I'm gonna go on a whim, that's not pole position, but that's a strong time for qualifying. I doubt he's going to do that in the race, but it's not out of the question either. Yeah, let me know who you think will win the race, who you support. Who have you been supporting this whole season? There's a lot of drivers that I think, well, tell their friends to go watch this, to support them. So it's always nice to see who is pulling in the views. Now, who's getting the most support? Who has friends watching? And even if you're not a friend of them, pick someone else who you think, you know what, I've been viewing a couple of races. I didn't expect much of this guy, but he's really shown what he's worth. I would have to say Marcus. Marcus has been really good the last few races. They're quite consistent. He's a fairly quiet driver. You don't see much of him, but he does get the results, and that's really all you need. It's the only important part, really, in these championships. How you get them is secondary, provided you don't give yourself penalties and negate your on-track result. Silver also sets a much better time. Satchio's also improved, but hey, interestingly, that's still not faster than Sorrow. But the fact that he's still driving, though, I don't think that was full beans. I think that was 90% beans. What else is there to say? Well, it is practice. In the session itself, there's nothing to say. In the championship, we've already talked about... Oh, actually, that was something I have neglected to talk about entirely. Because to me, it's less... it's less interesting to me, but it's still interesting. It's team championships. These people do function as a team often. They share their setups with each other. They share strategies. I know that Domska and Dikra do this a lot. And that's why they're so successful. P1, 102 points, followed by Ferrari of Cafalo and Statue. Statue really coming alive the last few races, so gives him a little bit of an edge over a Red Bull Racing team with two drivers that are, I think, literally equal on points. So very good of those two. That's Dustin and Gerald. Now got Toro Rosso of Marcus and Michael. So two very strong drivers, 46 points. Because Michael doesn't quite have the pace of Marcus. We've got Williams, where Randers hasn't shown up that much, and Silver isn't quite of the caliber of some other drivers. We've got HRT, which is mostly Sorrow's points. Force India, which I think is mostly JJ. How many points did JJ got? He's got 6. 4 points, I think, from reserve drivers. We've got Sauber at 6. Those are their own. I think they can pull that up. Ooh, let's say their goal is 20. I think 20 points for them would be very, actually kind of tough to do, but it's possible, and if they do it, that will be impressive. Mercedes is 5, and McLaren Mercedes currently last with 2 points. One minute 18 to go. In terms of ads, like I have to run ads now, which is making me, I'm very sorry, but it's something I need to do. However, after this practice session, we're not going to get any between the qualifying session and the race. There will be 90 seconds of ads, which will neatly fit into the part before the starting grid is shown. Essentially what will happen is qualifying will be over. I will announce who is the pole position. Then I will kick you people to an ad. And then we'll watch the race, which should be exciting. And without knowing the qualifying results yet, it should be good. Statue proves the first. 1:45.2 is a very strong time. Absolutely very strong time. And if that's representative of quality, which possible, it's good. He has done faster in hot lapping. So who knows, maybe he can pull another rabbit out of the hat during the qualifying session itself. Also has to be said, qualifying isn't everything. They don't actually have statistics on how often poles have been converted into wins. I think it's actually been quite rare, is what I feel like. Zikra is a strong qualifier, but not as strong as others. He's good in races for sure, but not as strong of a qualifier as others. As Marcus makes his way through the last chicane, practice session is over once everybody crosses the finish line. They're still driving their laps. Obviously Dustin also finishing off his lap. And I remember to reset the liveries. How good of me. The regular Red Bull livery once again. Pit entry, very tricky. What's specifically tricky about a pit entry is if you're driving side by side and somebody needs to go into the pits, there might be a bit of a blockade. Scarrows also practices it. It's always a good thing to practice because you can very easily make a mistake. And it will cost you a lot. Generally, if you speed into the pit lane, I think it's 10 seconds. So a substantial amount of time. It just gets added to your final finishing time. There's no need for it. There's absolutely no need for it. Alright, with that, practice is over. I want to quickly have a look. Ooh, look at that statue. And, oh, didn't mean to. The statue in silver, interestingly, the only two drivers with 28 seconds in the first sector. Why is that interesting? Because this track in particular, there's not many tracks, I think, that we would drive in F1 car that have this property. But this track in particular has the option for people to go very different with their downforce. High downforce is very much possible. Personally, I prefer low downforce on this track because you can be a complete terrorist on the straights by overtaking people from miles away. You can be a complete terrorist in sector 2 by slowing everyone down and they can't overtake, which I think is really funny. I don't think it would work on this grid because there's so many good people and they will find ways. If you make a mistake here, they will find a way to overtake. There is ways, but it's very, very tricky. Upcoming is a corner where it's not possible. Pull-on, genuinely one of my favorite corners on any track ever. It is, especially in an F1 car, especially in the 2019 cars, it's such a good corner to nail. But we'll see what it looks like when Zorro, presuming he will go across the finish line first, see what he does with it, or to it. So that corner will be absolutely destroyed. I do hope so. And we do see, I think, some people overtaking. I think that might be, is that Cafalor? No, it's not Cafalor. It's Statue. Where is he on the list? There is Statue. Statue does want the show lap. He's followed closely by JJ, who I hope has the sense to wait for a second. Although maybe not, because he knows he's slower than the Statue, and he's just gonna try to get a slipstream. So that's very clever from him. Anyway, through here, out of that corner is really where it starts. Brake for this corner, Lasso is very difficult. It's all about the traction, it's all about the exit here. Because after this is a very, very, very long straight. essentially the next few corners, Eau Rouge into Radio, they are essentially flat out in the one car. You need to be in the right gear to carry it properly. 6th gear into 7th on this straight, Camel straight. There's a long straight line break on these curbs. Not quite on them, but the same place. Oh, and I think he cut the corner there through Le Combe. Now that here you want to get a little bit of speed out here, but you are immediately into the anchors for Bruxelles. It's not that tidy of a lap for Statue, but it is going to be a banker. There's no name corner through here. You want to hit that apex, slightly missed it. Carry as much speed as you can through here and through here. It's a bit of a lift. Oh, and he goes very wide. If the game allows it, it's allowed. But yeah, that's it. That's that corner. Pull on into these this S turn. And through here you enter sector 3. Oh, big counter steer from Statue. It's not a tidy lap. It's not going to be the best lap of this session, I'm sure. He's going to have to improve. Now, this last sector is essentially, again, a big straight line. It's a beautiful corner, I think, trackside. It's not that spectacular on board. Big braking zone through here, though. The bus stop chicane used to actually be a bus stop chicane. Now it is just a chicane. Out of that corner, get good traction. Is it going to be A time? Is only it is A time. 145.9. That is not as slow as I'd expected. What's JJ doing? JJ, I think, resets very quickly. The Crow has set a lap. What is Randers doing? Randers, of course, did do a very good job in the first race. Hasn't really managed to repeat that. The Crow is quite far off, I just realized. And Dustin takes pole position for now. 145.1 is actually strong. So that is not going to be beaten by too many people, I would say. It's immediately on top of it, Dustin. And that is, well, how he likes to see it, I'm sure. We pull on. You see how fast these cars go from the track side. It's an incredible corner and a high downforce car. Almost flat out in most cars, and I think in the 2019 car, it is actually flat out. And it's, as a direct result, incredibly scary to do. Through this, well, it's essentially a long straight. It's a long straight, essentially, but it doesn't actually generate that many chances, which is frustrating. I think. I will say Spa for racing is actually quite a frustrating track. People love it, and I get why. It is actually a bit of a rollercoaster to drive, and it's a lot of fun. Randers with the second fastest time, ahead of Statue, but behind Dustin. And the gap is pretty big. Dustin has set a very, very strong lap time. He's into sector 2 again. But this doesn't look like a push lap. So we'll let him be for a little while. Now, who is off the pace? The Crow is off the pace. By a lot as well. I think is he holding someone up? Ooh, what's going on there? Somebody might just be trying. It's not Michael, it's his teammate. It is Marcus. He's just finished his lap. Might feel like he's been held up, but it is second place for him right now. That's very good from him. We're looking at the Crow. Now the Crow, for his championship, needs to qualify a lot better than P9. Of course, there's every chance he will. He's got 8 minutes. That's also the thing with Spa, right? It takes near enough 2 minutes, 1:45, to get around. If you make a mistake on your lap, you lose like 3 minutes of your life. Because you need to go back into the box, you need to do your out lap, and then you can restart your lap. So however much time you spend into that lap that you have to abort, that's how much you lose. Plus 1 minute 45 out lap. And Domska has improved, is now on pole position ahead of Dustin. The gap about 1/10. Substantial gap for qualifying. Not impossible to overcome. And it could also be, for the most part, track evolution. The track does get faster as people keep driving on it. 1/10 is absolutely within that margin. See what the Grow is doing. He's going into the bus stop chicane in a moment. Finding a braking point for this one is quite tough. It's only at the start of that curb on the left. In qualifying. In the race, you're gonna have to figure it out. Where does he end up, the Grow? Is it gonna be an improvement? It is! 7 thousandths behind his teammate. It's not good enough. Let's see what Dustin is. Oh, Dustin is not improving either for now, and that loses him a lot of time. 7 minutes still to go. He's got plenty of time to give it at least 2 more attempts. Like on any other track, if it was last week in... was it Hockenheim? Doesn't lose you as much. But you is absolutely blasting. A little bit of slipstream, I think, that helped him in the end. DRS, of course, you always get that in qualifying. That's not dependent on anyone around you. This looks a lot tidier from Statue. Immediately. From the outside, you can already see he's a lot more confident. The grip of the track is coming towards him. A little bit of release through here. A lot more secure. He realized on that first run that going through it too fast, going a little bit wide actually costs you a little bit of time. It's often best to be tidy. Braking, and this looks very clean as well. Statue on what is likely an improvement. I was hoping I would get splits, but they're not showing up. Yeah, it's hard to say. I clicked the splits button. It should show things. It does not. That's unfortunate. Statue breaking into this corner. Hitting that apex very nicely. Late apex there. As you cut on the power a little earlier to the line. Is it going to be an improvement? It's actually not. It's actually not an improvement. Statue stuck in P4 for a little while longer. And it could also very well be that was his outlap, but he was actually pushing on that outlap. I say that though. I do want to switch back to Statue in a bit. Sora is ahead of him on track. I do want to know, how does he take pull on? Does he actually go nearly full blast like Statue did on his first lap? Yeah, Statue was absolutely compromising through here because that was probably his outlap. No. But that was very clean from Zoro. Can we note how that was all nicely in between the lines? He's doing a very good job here. Let's again enjoy Statue. This time, full blast, full beans. What's he gonna do? Through here. Not as much as a lift. Very strong run from him through there. Was a little bit of a friendly argument between Statue and Dikra actually about how much downforce should to take on this track. I think Dikra said, well, low downforce is fun and all, and Domska has improved with, like by 0.003 of a second. Yeah, low downforce is good and all, but it doesn't actually help you in the race all that much because slipstream and DRS are so strong. And a little bit of extra downforce being better to Tractor 2 is maybe just better for overall, well, lap time. And he goes very wide on that exit. Hopefully it's still legal for him, but we'll see as he crosses the line. There's an improvement ahead of Sorrow, but behind Dustin, the Crow, and Domska. Dustin's still in P3. We'll be maybe happy with that. Who do we expect to improve? Randa's, Geralt, still, we expect improvements from them. And for the rest, well, Dmitry Petrov hasn't set a time yet. So he does need to do that. The rest of the drivers, PC Finch currently P14, above the pace. Domi equally over the pace, so they've got each other. Very good to see. Now we've got JJ, Mercury, Cavalo, Michael. Roughly where you would expect them. Silver ahead of Michael is very good from him. And Geralt, Randus, and Marcus, absolutely room to improve for them. And we know they're capable. Let's let Dmitry finish off this run. Through Blanchimont he goes. See, a little bit more cautious through there. It actually goes into the pits. Maybe it wasn't the legal lap anymore. Or maybe he wants to start from the back. Maybe he doesn't trust himself yet. Statue will be looking to improve. Cavallo in P8. Very strong from him. Gerald, very, very strong last season. He has had good results this season as well. But right now, P10 in qualifying, that's not what you want to see. He is maybe trying to get a slingshot from his teammates. Dustin is right ahead of him. Let's see how they do it. Is this an intended slipstream? See, it does save a lot of time for Gerald. Yeah, he pulls off the line. That's an intended slipstream from the Red Bull team. Gerald getting a little bit of a boost there. Now, is he gonna finish this lap strongly? I want to look at the timings. Sector 1 time. Where is Gerald? P10. 29.08. It's faster than what most people are doing. Some people are still faster. People on so fast through there as well. Some people are still faster there. While that is true, I think you have to take into account that Gerald is probably on higher downforce. Maybe some other people. He's gonna be faster through this sector. He didn't lose as much in the first sector. That's the crucial thing there. How is he going to convert that big slipstream that I think they pulled off very, very well? Nailed it absolutely perfectly. I believe that is also with Dustin immediately setting up for his lap, which will be starting in a moment. Gerald, where does he go? He doesn't improve all that much. 8th place it is going to be for him at best. And if somebody can improve, might be worse. What's Dustin going to do? He's going to set up for his last lap. Where's the Crow currently? He's already on his last lap. Oh, and that's his run over. The Crow is not getting pole position. Domska in a very good position. He will also be able to improve. That's exactly what he's setting up for. Oh, Domska still has a lap. Dustin still has a lap. The Crow has already made a significant mistake and will not be getting a chance to improve. As Dustin also gets, and this is interesting, Dustin gets a big slipstream from his teammate. Now the fight is truly on. Domska will get a chance to defend. Statue has improved, is now currently in P3. That's the best he's gonna be. 300ths away from Domska, who still is fighting to improve his time. Let's look at Dustin first then. Major mistakes. Ooh, a little bit wide there. I think you're allowed to do that. If you're too wide, it can cost you time. For a couple of curbs here. Ooh, touches that one a little bit. That looks a little unstable, but I think it's just a little bit in that code. He's got it fully under control. I think he might get a little bit of slipstream effect from the car ahead, who I don't think is on a lap, and he's going to let him by. Just a little bit of slipstream, a little bit of extra speed, and that could make the difference. What's it going to be for Dustin? He's had every single little bit of luck, every single little bit of slipstream that he could possibly ask for. Is it going to be enough for Paul? He's got 1/10 to make up. What does he do? Across the line he goes. And it's not an improvement at all. Dustin is going to be P4. Domska is going to be P1. And I don't think anybody else is improving. Nobody else is improving. All right, that is a pole position then for Domska. Very well done. And before we continue, I will run a 90-second ad. So make sure you get a drink, get some snacks, and then we'll be back for the race. For everybody that has subscribed and that is watching this on YouTube, because it will not be as on YouTube. Yeah, Domska on pole position is not unexpected. Domska is a very strong driver. What I think is interesting is Statue in P3 and Dustin in P4, that's gonna lead to some good fighting. Potentially, they seem to be on the pace. What else we got? Sorrow is in P5 and Randa's in P6. Marcus VR in P7, Geralt P8. Will be disappointed with that, I'm very sure. I think he expected more. Michael, then Cafalor. And we've got Silver and Mercury, hello. That's a very good job from him. Wasn't quite sure what he could expect from himself, but P12 kind of went unnoticed, but I think he will be very happy with that. And Dmitry Petrov, he did not manage to set a time at all. Not exactly sure what the reason for that is, but maybe there is a good reason. Okay. I'll double check if I've got everything set up correctly before my viewers come back. Yeah, looks good. All right, make sure to get a drink. Grab a drink, grab a snack. We're about to head back to the track. And Domi is actually complimenting PC Finch on the time. 49.238. That's very close. They're very close together, these two. Hopefully they'll have a little bit of a race together. And gonna hope to... what do you call that? Hope to catch that. So, starting grid then. Who do we have? Well, we've got Domska. Very, very nice pole position for him. The Crow, his teammate, is in second place. The Lotus team firing the first shot, looking good for them. And then, in terms of teams, it's complete chaos. The Statue, P3, it's kind of where we're going to see him a lot, I think, this season. Also in the top 3. P3 for now, that's good. That's good. He can be happy with that. The gap is tiny, though. 0.03 of a second. Dustin with a 10th behind. It's nothing to sneeze at. This is a very strong grid. If you're 10th behind and you're 4th, well, what can you do? P4, it is for him. We've got Sorrow in P5. Hopefully he has a good race, but behind Dustin and Statue, I think it's all right to be there. Randers will be a good challenge for him behind, though. We've got Marcus and Geralt on the next row. Michael and Cafalor, those two are going to be inseparable for the rest of the season, I'm afraid. Silver behind that to capitalize on any mistakes they make. And Mercury, already in the points, P12. It's got every opportunity to convert that as well. Of course, I need to switch to the next page. Excuse me. As you can see, Silver and Mercury. Very nice. We've got JJ, Domi in the next rows, and the last row will be PC Finch and Dmitry Petrov. Dmitry did not set a time for whatever reason he may have had for that. Yeah, that's how it is. Cool. All right. Now, if you're watching this, please let me know, who do you think is going to win? Is it going to be another The Crow win? Is Donska this time going to pull something? Or is Statue going to be able to overtake these nerds? Dustin won here last time. Can he pull an upset? I can just go down the grid until, like, I feel like Marcus needs a little bit more, maybe. Sorrow could be tough. You can never count out Randers. And Geralt needs to come from far. So most of those drivers are all proven race winners. Marcus and Sorrow still have to prove themselves in that regard. In this league, at least. So, it's a short run to La Source, but ever eventful. As we hear the lights and watch them go out, it is a start from a distance that we can't really see. It's a good start from Domska. He stays ahead. And, oh, let's look a little bit further back. It looks to be fairly clean. That's the most important part. Now, Statue is looking to attack. He's very close to the Crow. The Crow does have a slipstream from his teammate. It's a big slipstream. And you always have to watch out here. There is 4 cars here that might fight for the lead. Although the track is only so wide. Statue goes through the middle. Statue is in the lead. Is he going to stay in the lead into the first turn? And he does. Statue from P3 on the grid to P1 after Lecombe. Has a very strong start for him. The Crow drops back quite a bit. Sorrow currently in P3. Then we've got Dustin behind the Crow. He's actually moving ahead of the Crow on the inside of Bruxelles. As much as the overtaking zone is Sector 1, Sector 2 it's not banned, you know, you can still do it. And there it goes, like the outside of No Name Combo. What a beautiful move there. Randers also smelling weakness, blood in the water. It is the championship leader that is bleeding today. Currently down to P5. And lap 1 isn't even over yet, although he's trying to recuperate a position. He's got to be careful with that. It's very easy to be to want to overcompensate immediately. You make a mistake at the start, things don't go your way, and you want to just go back ahead. With a grid that's not as strong as this one, maybe you can. Dustin, Sorrow, Domska, and Statue are all very quick, very good drivers. You can't force it. Although he is very close, so maybe he gets a move anyway. Around the outside of this one, it has to be. Dustin very smartly positions himself on the inside here. Ooh, late on the brakes. A little bit of contact between these two, but the Crow goes back through. Very nicely done from him. Dustin didn't want to fight that much. Randers is still behind him. That is also something to worry about. You already see Cavalo is in the pits. Hopefully that's not something too bad. Domi has also lost a couple of positions. Comes out behind Cavalo. Okay. That's what happens there then. Sorrow very, very close behind. There's just a whole pack of 5 cars all very close together. But it stays peaceful. Now Marcus has no peace where he is. He's trying to get ahead of Randers. No, sorry. Staying ahead of Michael. Gerald is there. Gerald trying to defend that position. Oh, he loses the position to Michael, in fact. Gerald's dropping back to P9. Starts P8. And Michael is past. Mercury had a good start as well. He's currently P11. Up for 2 points today. We'll be very happy with that. Further up, we do see the Crow is very close. But this whole group, this whole section here, from I think starting at Domska maybe even. Domska's a little bit loose. Domska's got a little bit of margin. Behind him, it is absolute pandemonium. Randers has a honestly a safe seat. That's fair. Dustin in P5 behind the Crow. Not a move right now, but he's setting up. I'd say he's setting up for a DRS train, honestly. Domska, maybe he's trying to play a little bit with what's going on. And I think Cavalo had... No, Cavalo's still in. But Dimitri's still in. Somebody has retired. I think it's from the lower part. I think JJ has retired. JJ is our first retirement today. Didn't have a very good start, apparently. No longer with us on the track. Oh, we see Domska getting overtaken twice because of how strong the DRS is. Sorrow currently in P2. Had to process that for a moment because it looked like... It didn't look like it was that strong. But DRS is incredible here. And Domska just loses 2 positions. And Dustin close behind. I feel like the way that went, Domska's losing so much just by not being in DRS of Statue. Statue's absolutely run away. Statue is looking very, very strong for a win today. And Sorrow, look, enjoy your P2 while it lasts. I don't think it will last the whole lap. Well, it will last this whole lap. It will last until maybe the finish line, honestly. The Crow is very close, but I feel like if the Crow is smart, he doesn't actually go ahead. He stays behind. Yeah. There's no attempt for a move there. Oh, Sorrow makes a mistake that might help him in the end. Yeah, you know what? That might actually be the smart move. Let the Crow go, but the Crow doesn't want it. The Crow doesn't want it. He could have absolutely taken position there, make no mistake, but he doesn't want it. He's like, no, after you. Everybody's bunched up there. There's absolute pandemonium waiting to happen. Because Sorrow didn't want this. Sorrow wanted to give it up and be ahead after this part. But unfortunately, everybody knows what he's doing. Everybody's prepared. Domska's DRS. The Crow is DRS. Dustin, well, I don't know if he does, but I don't think he's relevant. The Crow is in P2, but he's going to be ahead of his teammate. His teammate, ooh, on the inside. And decide to let each other live there. It is the Crow, Domska, Sorrow. They've swapped positions again. Apparently you lose 2 positions if you're in 5th place, or in 2nd place after a lap. Oh, and that's a big mistake from Sorrow. He actually loses a bunch more positions. Now Randers is actually in P4. He's going to have to chase the Lotus team. The Lotus team has shaken themselves loose a little bit. Domska still close behind the Crow. Are we going to see a lot of gamesmanship? Well, I don't know if you should game too much. Because look at this man, Statue, currently in P1. The gap, 3.5 seconds. Oh, a little bit less now. It's a big gap. It is a big gap. For this early in the race, surely that's not what they wanted, but that's what they got. They've done this to themselves, now they have to live with it. A little bit further back, we see Gerald Schmidt right behind Michael, who is right behind Silver. These three are gonna keep fighting for a little bit. Silver actually pulled a little bit of highs there, being where he is right now. Kafalor fighting with Dimitri. On the inside defense position, Dimitri is trying to nudge himself by. It's not possible there. Very good, clean racing from these two. If that's Dimitri, you can keep up with Kafalor. You're a pretty good one. We've got Mercury as well. I think somebody has retired. This is Domi, unfortunately, has retired. 15th place for him today. No opportunity for improving that. Domska with DRS. How strong is this DRS? Look at him go. There goes my Domska. Watch him as he overtakes his teammate. Nothing to defend there. And Sorrow fighting with Randers. Randers goes off track there. Has to rejoin safely. Sorrow goes past. Now does Sorrow have the pace in Sector 2 to catch up to these two, the Crow and Domska? That is not a given. And these two are still fighting, by the way. Petrov and Kafalor still going. And so is this little triplet. Gerald keeps a little bit of distance behind Michael, behind Silver. There's absolutely also a fight to look out for. As you do see, it is Spa, and Spa does Spa things. There's one place where these people are going to overtake, and they're going to do it every single lap. And it's not a particularly interesting overtake, if we're honest. It does look like, and this is quite important, from Sora's perspective, you see how far away the Lotus team is. The Crow is behind Domska. Essentially the whole game is get ahead in Sector 1, try to make a gap in Sector 2. And so far, these two have not succeeded. The catching Statue a little bit is not enough. As I believe Dimitri has lost a little bit of time. Mercury is now very, very close by. As we will see the Crow. Oh, he's already looking. Oh, there's some gamesmanship here from Domska, because I believe the DRS detection zone, or the point that determines whether you get DRS. Oh, he's messed it up a little bit. The Crow is gonna run away. The Crow has nailed this. And Randers is currently P4. Okay, interesting. He makes a mistake there, but he's ahead of Sorrow. That's what he was going for. Gerald Smith looking around the outside. Silva has lost 2 positions. That's how it goes. And Kafalor is where he is. Petrov defense from Mercury. The PC finisher P14 still following them. Doing a very solid job at it. So has Domska messed this up then? Has he blown it? Has he given the Crow position plus DRS? The gap now is substantial. Between these two, it is big enough In this section, the Crow could pull a gap. A little bit dirty air can harm Domska just enough, but there is also a little bit of slipstream here. 8/10 between them now. Domska needs to stay there. Needs to be able to catch up with the DRS zones. This slipstream also does help him a little bit. Is it going to be enough? Lucy statue still in the distance. He is not out of view yet. Looking dicey for sure. Domska is still close enough. In fact, he has caught a little bit in that sector. Through this hairpin, he wants a good exit. Oh, he doesn't quite get a good exit, and that could be a problem if the Crow stays ahead. Well, Domska still gets DRS. He still will. There we go. He still gets DRS. He will still catch. Is it going to be enough not to overtake? It's going to be enough to stay close. I think he will stay close. Overtaking is not on the cards right now. Dustin, Sorrow, and Randers as they were. Gerald ahead of Michael, ahead of Silver, which was in reverse like 2 laps ago. It's crazy how that happens. And Mercury behind Dimitri decides to stay where he is. I'm not sure how much of that is a decision, how much of that was simply not having the speed to overtake. Interestingly, you can see Statue. I'm looking at Domska right now, but Statue is very much in view of both of these drivers. Statue not looking so fast anymore. Maybe because these two have stopped fighting so much. Maybe there was a strategy where the Crow would get that DRS. They would, instead of fighting, help the Crow get a little bit ahead. And later on, Domska get the DRS. They would catch up together. And now the Crow is within 6/10, nearly 5/10 of Statue. Now this is a proper fight. Oh, there's a big mistake from the Crow. And oh, hello. Statue is going into the pits. Has he messed up his tires? Maybe he's forced to pit already. Maybe he was on the softs. But there he goes. The Crow inherits the lead of the race. And now, if boxing is on the cards for Sorrow and Dustin too, now these two need to decide what are they going to do with that information. Is Domska going to keep fighting? Is he going to take the DRS and try to run past the Crow? Well, very likely. He's close enough, I think, that he can just do it on a straight line. Is the Camel straight long enough? You can hear his engine. He's pulling it back a little bit. No move for Domska right now. They've decided, let's sign a peace treaty. Let's just continue where we are. Where is Statue? Statue is in P5 behind Marcus. And the gap, I think, is a little smaller than he would have liked that to be. Gerald is behind him. That's good news at least. If you're an early stopper, you do really want to come out in a place where there is no dirty air, as little as possible at least. Silver, I know Silver is on a 1 stop, and I would not expect him to stop yet. Currently in P7 after Dustin has also stopped. And so has Sorrow, currently in P10. Mercury currently in P9. Sorrow, Michael, Pisevinch, Cavalo, and Petrov is all the way last. Oh, and you can see why. He's got damage on his rear wing. You can see he's nursing the car. He's not pushing it anymore. He has had a crash. Cavalo in P13, quite far back, but I feel like he is also stopped. So what are these guys gonna do? They've kept going. You can see they're going through turn 1. Randers is also stopping. And so is Gerald. I feel like we're starting to see a split in strategy. These two drivers might very well be on a 1 stop. You can hear Domska is lifting off. Domska understands. Overtaking right now doesn't mean much. It's about where you are at the end of the race. And if you overtake now, you're losing time. that is time that Statue, currently in P3, he has been released, will be gaining, and Statue will be gaining rapidly. Look at the timings. Well, it's not going to be representative right now. 150.9 it says. Not fully accurate. I think it was his outlap. Peter Petrov is now also in the pits. He will be repairing his rear wing. Looking a lot better now. Hopefully he will keep driving and get a little more confidence in this car. And his safety car can always put him back into the race. So let's hope for that as well. In the middle of kind of not quite nowhere. There's people ahead of him, but not close enough for him to fight directly. Michael is in a bit of a sandwich between Gerald and Mercury. Gerald is technically close enough for an attack. I do want to see. Oh yeah, Domska and the Crow are also going into the pits as brothers together. Statue is ahead. Have the Lotus boys made a big mistake there? They synchronize as they go out of their pit boxes. Marcus is currently in P2, looking for a one-stop likely. Crow currently in P3 behind Marcus. That is a problem. What's a bigger problem for Domska is that Silver is also in between them. Some people will be on a one-stop, some people will be on a two-stop, and I know Silver is on a one-stop. So he's going to keep driving for at least 2, maybe 3 more laps. But I would have to guess it's 2. Domska. Ooh, Randers has better tires right now. They just have a better temperature. Domska loses out on that. And that is costly. That is so costly. The Crow does have a decent position to maybe win the race, provided he's on a one-stop. If he's on a two-stop, he is in trouble. He's in big trouble. Statue is also on a two-stop. And Statue is currently quite a ways ahead. And he's got Marcus in between himself and the race leader. Crow has to... Well, I hope for the Crow that he started on softs and now either on mediums or hards. And he can finish the race on this set. If that is not the case, the Crow has a big problem. I say he has a big problem. He will maybe get a chance to overtake... Well, he will get a chance to overtake Marcus, whether it be here at the end of Sector 3. If it's not here, at the end of Sector 1. So... it's whatever he prefers. I think he prefers Sector 1. As Marcus does make a mistake, and it might have to be forced right now. Or maybe the Crow thinks the value of the DRS is better than overtaking right now. So he's holding back a little bit. And on the straight, he's going to make this move. Up Eau Rouge Gagnon. Nicely through there, and the DRS open. And it's got so much more speed. We'll use a little bit of speed to try and catch back up to Statue, but Statue is 6 seconds gone. The Crow has it all to do. Domska ahead of Silver now. Still has Randers ahead of him, and that's gonna cost him a lot. This is really good for the Crow's championship for sure. But he's still in P2. He wants that to be a P1. If he is on a two-stop, he's got every opportunity to get there. Oh, that's very wide from Domska. You can see he loses a little bit from that. Gap getting a little bit bigger with respect to Randers. But he's not lost. Opportunity to retake a position, be it in this sector or the next. And right now it's just a matter of time. Around the outside, is he gonna do it right here? Ooh, he thinks better of it. I feel like with Randers you can't really pull this. Randers will re-overtake with DRS and will make your life absolute misery. Lucien Crow slowly catching Statue on the timing sheets. What is interesting to me is that Marcus is still going. Currently in P3, 9 seconds, 10 seconds behind the leader. He's still driving. Absolutely gonna one-stop that man. So will Silver be. Oh, no, Silver is, he told me. Dustin losing position to his teammates. Very closely followed by Michael. Randers, he's still very, very close to Domska. I think Domska is going to start driving away from him. Through Pouon alone, you will notice. Downshift from Randers. You know. Dirty air is just a little bit too much through that corner. These four are very close together. And to a degree, Silver's absolutely doing the best job he can here. He's doing his team, in particular, a very big favor. Randers currently in P5, his teammate. He's currently P7, he's holding up these Red Bulls. This Toro Rosso. And in fact, the way this is going, he's gonna have to let all of them go. I think his tires are just a little bit too far gone. Marcus now into the pits for his one and only stop. And I presume we'll also see... Yeah, there goes Silver. Silver also into the pits. So now this little gaggle of cars. Really behind Sorrow, who is quite a bit away from Randers, who is still closely following Domska. And that is a problem for Domska, because Randers is faster. Randers is here on the inside. Oh, he decides against it, actually. Randers decides, you know what? Carry me to P2. Bring me there. When you do see, the Red Bulls are fighting. Dustin currently in P6 doesn't want to give it up to his teammate. No team orders between these two. Michael behind. So after all of that, after everybody's boxed at least once, we've got the same top three we started with, just in reverse order. Statue in P1, Chrome P2, that's where he started. Domska in P3. And what's interesting to me about that, more than anything, as we see a big mistake from Dustin. Oh, he loses so much. Marcus VR gets caught up in that. Marcus has much better tires right now. I'll be annoyed that he had to slow down a little bit for that, but he's going to overtake. And Dustin will be kicking himself. That is a big time loss. As Dustin makes another mistake. Maybe... no, he's okay. Still fighting. But in all of that, Cavalo is right there as well. Watch this from his perspective then. What's going on between these three? They all have a different car. So, of course, Marcus, we see, is going to sacrifice himself by being in the lead there. It's across the DRS detection zone. Dustin is behind. And Cavalo is even further behind. Cavalo's going to have a double slipstream. He's got... Oh, he boxed up! And there's a big crash! There's a big crash between these three drivers. And I think you can point the finger very easily there. That is a big, big, big mistake. It takes out Dustin. It takes out Cavalo. And Marcus VR, after such a good race, a promising race for him, into the wall, all the way back. Silver goes to P10. Cavalo, not aware of Dustin next to him, turns straight into him, and that was a big incident between these three. Dustin, ooh, maybe he's got limited damage there. probably kicking himself, I think. That was a big error that cost all three of them a lot of time, and especially Marcus currently in P11 with massive damage. He's going to have to box. It's going to promote Mercury into P11. I think PC Finch will also be looking at a point today. Dimitri's still driving, but he's a little bit further behind. Also had a crash earlier today. Statue is in the pits again for his second stop. That's early. That's a little bit early. That is very much early. The Crow is back in the lead. Domska is going to be back in P2 probably. It's actually not so much a foregone conclusion. Also because now he doesn't get the exit speed there from the pit lane. Statue is still going to catch a little bit. Brandis is a decent bit behind. After all that excitement, you see Geralt still fighting with Michael. This time it's for P6. DRS. The overspeed. Done and dusted. I think we see, yeah, Dustin just had his pit stop. And we see a retirement. I believe that has to be, yeah, that is unfortunately the team, it's Marcus. That is heartbreaking. We saw what happened. It wasn't right what happens, but that's the way it is. That's racing. Even if you make no mistakes, you're driving with other people that do, and you can be caught in it. And you see Statue also has overtaken Domska now. Statue with better tires will be able to run away for a bit. If the Crow still has to box, he might be alright, because Statue did stop very, very early. Is this part of strategy? Is he going for a 3-stop? Dare we suggest that the Rage Statue is on a 3-stop? Maybe he went medium, soft, medium, and the soft just didn't last as long as he anticipated. I don't know. Well, he's still got Domska behind him. Domska is close enough that he can cause trouble. If Domska does want to be a big friend to his teammate, he fights the Statue as hard as he can. I feel like, looking at the gap, I'm not sure that's an option. Michael and Sora are also in the pits. Let's see how small this gap can be by the time we get to the turns. But it's not small enough for a move. Has to settle for P3 for now. We see a little bit of skirmish there. When it does start like that, it is a little bit of netcode, but it's also just a little bit squirrely. Cavalo into the pits, still ahead of Mercury and PC Finch, both Sauber drivers on for points today. I think that would be the first time that they're scoring points. You see Crow as the race leader, he is just gonna have to hot lap for a little bit. Statue is catching little by little. Crow still has the box, he will emerge behind Statue, will likely emerge behind Domska. I anticipate that if the Crow stops, Domska will also stop. Maybe around the same time. Regardless if one of them stops, the other one will as well. Looking at the gaps, currently things are settling a little bit, and Domska is going in early for a stop. He's trying to undercut Statue. Maybe if Statue has to stop again. Randus has at least been defended. Randus also stops. He's trying to undercut the Crow a little bit. I mean, the gap to the Crow is pretty big. So one wonders what the plan is. Statue in P2 is looking pretty good, but it all depends on if he intends to finish on these tires. Still a couple of laps to go. Not going to be easy. Is it going to be fast enough by the end of it? He's going to be in the lead again this race. That is fairly certain. Not guaranteed, but fairly certain. Domska is now out. He's got a massive gap ahead of him. He can drive whatever laps he likes. Randers is not that far behind him. What's the Crow gonna do? One would have to expect that this man will pull into the pits. Unless he feels like his tyres are still good, so he can still drive good lap times, and he wants better tyres at the end. Let's see if we can catch this man pulling into the pits. Well, it makes a big lock-up. Ooh, that's costing him time. He's going into the pits. Oh, that's time loss. That's substantial time loss. Then we see Statue. Gonna overtake a lot earlier than the Crow had hoped for. Statue back into the lead of the race. I'm gonna quickly check. There's no penalties outstanding during this race, other than I think penalties were given next to, like, in what do you call it? From the stewards. Which is a 5-second time limit for around this, so we do have to think about that a little bit. As it stands now, Statue's in P1. The Crow goes behind. He does have, I think that's Dimitri ahead of him. Dimitri has blue flags, has to let him go, and he does now. Okay. He actually gave him a little bit of slipstream, so maybe that helped. The Crow in P2, Domska in P3. The gaps are substantial between those three. And as we failed to see Silver, but now we do. He's getting close to Gerald, who's trying to break the slipstream as much as he can. It's not enough though. The DRS is good enough. But Silver thinks better of it. No need to force a move there. He's keeping up with Gerald, and honestly, I think he will be buzzing with that fact alone. So we're 1 hour away off the actual Formula 1 race, which, don't worry, this will be done in time. Especially because of the lack of safety cars. Just a couple of laps to go. What are we looking at? We're looking at a fairly, I wouldn't say still race. There is still racing going on. It is just a bit distant. Looking at the Crow catching Statue, the gap is currently 10 seconds. He does need to gain over a second a lap on average. And I have to emphasize on average, because he's not going to gain 1 second a lap right now. But by the end, he might gain 2. I don't know how good Statue's tires will be by the end of this stint. He stopped a little bit early. That being said, the Crow's tires, I think, are only 3 laps older. 3 laps older in Spa because of how long the track is and how heavy Sector 2 is on the tires. That is pretty big. Although the Crow, I don't think he's gaining that much. Crow maybe not doing what he needs to do. If we look at the last times that was set, well, it's an outlap, so not very useful. What is useful to see? Statue doing 147.3 last lap. Lightning fast still. He is pushing like hell. What if it is a 3-stop? What if it is a 3-stop? He's pushing so hard. He's asking everything from these tires and a little bit more. Are we looking at a 3-stop from him? Who is the fastest lap right now? Among those 3, it is Statue. And the gap is pretty big, actually. Statue is going very fast today. And it seems like Statue's found something. It's giving him a little bit of an advantage. Oh no, but he goes again. It is a 3-stop. Statue goes into the pits again. He's got, I think, 6 more laps to do on this set. And the Crow will inherit the lead. He's being held up a little bit by a back marker. That is Dimitri. A little bit of back marker terror, isn't there? Domska. Is he going to be ahead of the Statue? That's going to be crucial. If he does end up ahead of the Statue, no, he's not going to be clear. Statue has it all to do. It is a bold, audacious even, pre-stop strategy. That's putting Statue into a race against time. What is the time? The time is actually... the gap is not that big. This is not a substantial gap. What has happened? Wait, where's Dimitri? No, actually the gap is more substantial than I thought. This delta is wrong. The delta is wrong. Okay, so the gap is... Is this substantial enough is the question. I do like the word substantial, could you tell? This gap is doable. This is doable. Statue can absolutely win this. As Mercury also goes for a stop. I think that promotes his teammate. Dimitri is simply too far away to benefit. So Mercury with a bit of a safety stop. Maybe goes for fastest lap. That will be epic. But the Crow has it all to do. He has to defend this. And it's gonna have to be on track. Statue is gonna be... is so incredibly fast. I think we can already award the fastest lap point for him. But it is not over until it is over. Let's all remember that. This race is far from done. 5 laps from done, to be precise. You can see, like, this gap is not as big as it should have been. The Crow, you are currently championship leader. Stand to lose. I think it's 3 points. If you finish second, plus 1 more point, because Statue is absolutely getting past this lap. I think that's a foregone conclusion. 4 points down. The current gap is pretty big between them, though. We're looking at 18 points gap, minus 4, it's going to be 14 points. That is still a pretty big gap for Statue to make up, but that's you know, worrisome. If Statue can pull out this pace, that is worrisome. If the Crow has one bad race, and you see it in real life as well, it's very possible that a championship leader can mess up. It's kind of been a trend. It's worrisome. Dustin is currently in P9 after that big incident we saw. He's fighting back. Silver ahead of him. We're fighting for that as well. And you see the grid is actually getting closer together little by little. Sorrow in P5, but Michael sees him and Geralt sees Michael. Most importantly, and we cannot deny Statue, is currently in P2. This man's fighting for a win here today. But I also have to say, I'm going to look at the timings after this lap is over. I feel like the Crow is pushing. The Crow is pushing like hell. And he's praying that his tires are going to work. Because once Statue gets within a second, if he has 2 laps to go and he's within a second, it's over. I don't think the Crow can defend that. So the Crow is trying to keep the Statue outside of 1 second. Last lap times. 147.0 for the Crow. That is very, very fast. That is a very, very fast lap. And his best lap is actually 46.8. He's been pushing like hell. Statue still faster, 46.6. That's crazy. That is insane if you can do that every single lap. But crucially, I think the Crow is fast enough. If that's the difference every single lap, the Crow is fast enough. Do notice Silver overtaken by Dustin. Still, no, it's not DRS. You get a little bit from Slipstream, but not nearly as much as with DRS. Randers, importantly, is more than 5 seconds ahead of Sorrow. It's important for him. Statue is 2 seconds behind the Crow. Gained quite a lot in the last lap or so. From this point to this point last lap, he's gained a decent amount. These two were arguing in the press conference about whether low downforce was a viable strategy. Oh, the Crow didn't believe it. Statue may have gone slightly lower downforce. He's made a mistake there. It does gain him a lot of time. I hope he gives that back a little bit. Yeah, he does give that back a little bit. You can see in the timings. Yeah, he gives that back. Okay, 2 seconds behind he is now. Now, I think in the timings, yeah, there's no penalties. It is still straight on the track. Statue lost a little bit there. Because he gave that back. I think he gave it back a little bit more than maybe he... No, I think he did it very well. Hopefully there's not a penalty for him. And I don't think it is from what we saw on the stream. Statue getting... He's eking closer to Crow, but he needs to be within a second by the end of this lap. That's kind of the challenge. And it can be exactly 1 second. He doesn't need to overtake. It just needs to be close enough that he can get DRS. And maybe it's not quite necessary. Maybe not quite necessary, but it needs to be close. It needs to be close. By the end of the next lap, he needs to be within 5 tenths. And then Statue has a very good chance to win this race. He's got better tires. He's got extremely strong pace. If you look at the timings from last lap, 47.8 from the Crow. Statue did cut the corner at the end, but it was a 6.65, 605, 46.605. Very, very good lap times from Statue. He's very, very fast. He's actually within a second by the end of this lap. That's actually going to happen. He's got the slipstream here. And I think this car pulls a little bit better at the end of Blanchimont. The end of the third sector. Before this bus stop chicane, he's getting closer, and this is truly on. A straight up fight for the win by the end of the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa. What more could you want? Rare that we get a good race at Spa. It has been a bit boring in the middle. The Statue is close enough, and this is going to be for the win. We might see a lot of gamesmanship. Prepare for a lot of gamesmanship, because whoever gets DRS on the last first sector, that's the person who's going to win the race. And the Crow knows that. The Crow might purposefully throw the position and try to re-overtake. I think that's what he's considering. I think that's what's going through his mind. But he needs to be careful not to lose too much. His tires are not up to snuff. Statue's tires are so much better right now. And his pace is so much better right now. Crow's holding on for dear life. And, well, we'll have to find out if it's fast enough. For the SSR Statue is looking at the diffuser, seeing if he's weak anywhere, trying to intimidate a little bit. But all this doesn't matter. But the only thing that matters is who is ahead by the end of the race. And to calculate that, the Crow has to consider, does he want that DRS more than he wants the position out of La Source? It's La Source that we're going to be looking at. And somebody has retired. Wait, who retired? Brander's still driving? I think Sorrow is retired. That's a disaster. We're going to have to ask him what happened. And we're seeing the gamesmanship now. Oh, look at this gamesmanship from these two. The Crow doesn't want it. The Crow doesn't want the position. The Statue's still gonna run for it. Statue's gonna run, and the Crow, oh, he might have messed it up. The gamesmanship from these two on display. The Crow wanted this DRS. He's got this DRS, but he's also got 5 cents to make up. He's going to have to absolutely haul ass to try and take this position. It's a long straight, but is it long enough? Statue defends the inside. On the outside, the Crow goes. Late on the brakes. Oh, and he sends it. Oh, and Statue is not giving up. Statue is absolutely not giving up. This is a race for the lead. He's got better tires around the outside. Oh, they're still fighting. It is a full lap fight, I think, that we're going to be looking at. Around the outside of Brussels, it's not unheard of. And it is Statue that doesn't quite come out on top. And he does. Through that in corner on the inside, that's enough, it seems. Pujon, this is a one-line corner. You're not going to be side-by-side through here. The Crow has to concede after some beautiful gamesmanship, after it almost worked. But Statue, so cerebral, so intelligent, and skillful. He is a hot lap master, and he shows that in a race he is no slouch either. Some brilliant driving from Statue earns him this win, and the Crow simply doesn't have the tires to keep up. Once he is behind through sector 2, it is over. He will gain a little bit at the start. His Statue's car does pull better later on in this sector. He's not going to gain as much. Maybe he goes for a cent, but that would be... Oh, optimistic! Oh! More than optimistic, and I think the Crow knows what he's done. I think the Crow knows that he's going to have to give this up. Yeah, very good sportsmanship from him. He went for a move. I'm not sure how intentional that was, but it is Statue that wins this race. There he goes. And that is a brilliant race from Statue. I am so impressed with that move. That is such a good job from him. The Crow gets second place. Good sportsmanship from him. Big mistake at the end, but it is what it is. Domska in P3 will be maybe a bit disappointed considering where he was fighting earlier. Randers in P4. Gerald gets P5. Randers would have to see the gap because he has a 5-second penalty. Michael in P6 ahead of Dustin, with Dimitri finishing right next to him. Cavalo in P8, and we've got Silver still driving, and the two Sauber boys will both be coming home with points. It will be 5 points for the Sauber team, and I think they will be happy to get those. Prix was in the press conference today. He is inexperienced in these cars. He's done, I think, less than 10 hours, before this race at least, less than 10 hours in this car. And he's got a lot more time under his belt. It's paying dividends. Another 10th position for him. And PC Finch, through persistence, I think you may have saw the first race in the season be like, oh, PC Finch, that person is pretty slow. Not too impressive. But getting so much more consistent in this car, and you see the results that it brings. 2 more points for PC Finch. Dimitri gets the last point, and he has already crossed that line. So, what does that do for the standings? We'll quickly save this replay, and we'll go into, I think, we'll go into the post-race screen. Oh no, I need to check something. Randers, what was your gap? It was big enough. Okay, Randers keeps that position. For Michael, I'm not quite sure what the ruling there is, but he also keeps position regardless. Okay, cool. So, go to the post-race screen. Reminder of who your winner is. It is, of course, Statue, our race winner. More important than race winner, we've got the standings. But the Crow still ahead. The gap has grown still towards Domska. 67 now. 57 to Domska. And Statue, 53. Closing in a little bit with his brilliant win and fastest lap. Gerald Smith with 35. And we've got Dustin, 32. Dustin lost a lot today. Will not be happy. Hopefully we get an interview so he can talk about what happened. I think it was pretty clear from the cameras. Now, interestingly, Marcus still P7. And of a lot of people, but after DNF today, I think it will still be painful. He's still in the fight for a P4 though in the championship, and that's, I think, where the best of the rest is going to end up. But Soro, Michael, Cavalo, all 24 points. After DNF Soro today, I think he will be unhappy with that, but he will be able to fight away from those people again. Silver's got 10 points. Very good for him. Then we've got JJ in 12th with 6th, along with Mercury, who also now has accumulated 6 points. PC Finch with 5. We've got Yuri Kiesa also both on 4. And then Domi on 2. Couldn't finish today with Masagati. Dimitri Petkov also got a point today, so they are tied as well. And some other people that haven't scored any points quite yet. Quickly go over the team standings. Lotus team dominant on top still, despite a Ferrari win. Ferrari now Walking away a little bit from Red Bull. It's a 10-point gap. That's not big enough for anything. Toro Rosso in 53, still very good points for them. Williams with 41, also good job for them today. Minus, of course, a P5, a P4 finish in silver in P9. Substantial points for that team. And then we've got HRT team with Sorrow, 24 points currently. Sauber on 11. Sauber for India on 10. Mercedes on 6. And Sauber actually on 11 points, P7 currently. You know what? That's notable. Well done. And McLaren Mercedes on 2 points. All right, so there is some complaints in the chat. We're going to ignore those, and we are going to quickly give you a little bit of music. I'm going to prepare some what do you call those things that we do sometimes? Oh, right, it's the interviews. So don't leave. I will be there in a bit. All right, welcome to the interviews. We're starting quickly. We already got the whole top 3 ready. Yeah, we're gonna go top to bottom, and we start, of course, with our race winner. Make sure to invite the right person. It is Statue. Hello, Statue, and welcome.
Welcome.
How was that race for you? I will tell you how it was for me, but I first want to hear how it was for you.
It was kind of insane. I mean, it started with a 3 wide on lap 1, which was already kind of wild. Although that's kind of what you expect with how Spa is on the first lap. The entire strategies got flipped upside down for me. Because on the very first lap going into the bus stop, I ruined my front right tire by locking up quite significantly when I was pushing too hard to get away from Domschka to break the DRS. And yeah, that meant my first stint just was horrible on tire wear. So I boxed a lap or 2 earlier than I actually expected, which then meant I had a tire disadvantage for basically the rest of the race. Which when I was getting to the moment where the tires would start falling off on the second stint, but I knew I'd have to live through that to actually make it 2 stops, because that wasn't my original plan. Just 3 stints on the softs. I just decided, can I use a bit of a strong word here, because I think it really well describes the attitude.
Go ahead.
It was a decision of the sort, fuck it, we bowl, and I went for a 3 stop on softs. It's like, in the back of my mind, I felt like it was either going to be me trying to hold off potentially Dicker at the very end on just dead tires, or trying to catch him on better tires with the potential to have the fastest lap. I don't think I actually got the fastest lap, contrary to what you selected, because I'm pretty sure that's not the 10th faster, unfortunately.
Oh, that's very possible. I'm sure he will correct me in a bit.
But I'm not entirely sure. That might need verifying. But yeah, then I just about managed to catch him. Played a bit of DRS chicken on the last lap. Lost it, but just about not by enough to actually let him get away. And then I overtook him in the next few corners with bare tires. But it was exhausting. I am really exhausted after those last 2 stints, because after the second pit stop it was just full push. Nothing on the, no tire preservation. Just I knew I had to go as fast as possible. Didn't help that I actually overshot my pit box on my second stop, but they credit the same after I talked to him, so we were equal in that regard.
Yeah, well, it looked just as intense as you described it there. Especially the last stint. At some point, I was like, you stopped very early after the second stint. Maybe he's going for a 3 stop, which would be crazy. And that's when you went in for a 3 stop. And then it was whole ass, go as fast as you can. And we made it in the end. The last lap was a spectacle that we caught every single second of. It was very, very fun to see. And in the very last corner, you got a little bit of a tap as well.
Oh, that.
Yeah, we caught all of
No,
that.
he gave up the place, so I'm not gonna push any charges. I mean, I guess that was the last thing he could have tried. He explained that he did that mostly because he knew there was a big gap to Domschka behind, so even if there was a tap, we still had time to recover ahead of him. So it's fine in that regard. It was ambitious, but I don't blame him too much. I mean, as long as he's spoiling about it afterwards and he recognizes he overcooked it, then it's fine.
Yeah, it was good sportsmanship on display in the end. So all good it seems. You've called up a small amount in the championship. It might be at 43 or you're at 53 points or 52 if you don't have fastest lap. We'll double check that. Um, yeah, you're catching the Dikra a little bit. Do you think you got any shot at a championship after this race?
Mm, I'd say winning here kind of keeps me in it. I wouldn't say I'm in the mix still, but I think winning here just about still gives me chances. I need Dikra to mess up somewhere because if we just finish 1-2 every other race, I'm pretty sure he'd finish ahead of me still.
Yeah, you still
Although I'm
would.
not entirely sure how the points are, but probably.
You
Um,
lose 3 points if you finish second to the person in first.
yeah,
Maybe with a
not
fastest
accounting for
lap.
fastest laps.
Yeah. But that will be
Then
12
Domshka
points
is
at
also in the
most.
mix. He's still ahead of me too, and I mean you can talk to him in a moment, but he had a big problem with how he changed his tires. So the fact that he was so far behind is not really representative. He would have probably been a lot closer, so I expect him to be closer again in next races. So overtaking just one Lotus is difficult enough in the standings. Two, it's gonna be even more difficult, but I'm open to anything happening. So you never know.
You've made the first push for it. I'll move through it a little bit quicker than normal. So thank you very much for the interview, and we'll move on to
Thank
the
you.
second place finisher, who was the opponent in that duel, Dikra. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
How are you feeling after that? Take me through a whole race, and particularly through that last lap.
Well, a bit of mixed feelings. I think we knew that it was 50-50 whether starting on the softs or starting on the mediums would be a good idea. And I think we chose wrong in the end because we thought that with the softs you would have trouble with traffic. But I don't think that Statue had a lot of that, so he didn't get held up when he had his undercut on us. And instead, we got lost in the traffic in the beginning of the race, especially me. I think I had to fight against Dustin and Sorrow and also at times against Domschka. And then I did get held up by traffic because I think I lost a second or a second and a half behind Marcus because I had to stay behind him for the entire third and first sector because I knew that if I overtook him, then he would get DRS and re-overtake me. So that was something that didn't go to plan too well. And I think in general, the undercut was very strong. I think that if Statue had just gone for two stops and got to mediums at the end, maybe he would have been very slow. He said he wasn't comfortable on the medium, but if he had done that, he would have had a very easy race. That way he did it was making it a little harder, and I helped him a little bit with that. I think he already mentioned that I messed up my pit entry and also then messed up my pit box, but
Yep.
it didn't really matter, I think, because in the end, he also did the same, so that equaled out. And also, I think I lost 1 second maybe at the bus stop with messing that up, but he would have caught me anyway with a three stop and with the better tires that he had. And then we got into the fight, and I knew, of course, that he had the better top speed, that it was unlikely for me to win because I had the worst tires, and you can easily overtake on this track. So
Mhm.
I tried to play the DRS chicken. I kind of won it, but also kind of didn't, because in order to get past him, I needed to burn my entire chaos. And also, then I outbraked myself into the first chicane. I think Senius is the right way, right?
I think it's Licon.
Ah, Licom, of course. I was thinking the entire time how is it called, but yeah, Licom, of course. And yeah, I break myself kind of and got a flat spot on the front right, which was already not in too good of a shape. And then he overtook me in the middle sector. And after that happened, I just hoped I could hold it out and go into the slipstream and maybe try something. And approaching the bus stop, I was then quite far away, but I looked at how far away Domschka was, and I thought, okay, let's just try something. If it works, amazing. If it doesn't work, not so amazing. If we crash, then there's a big runoff area here. It's very unlikely that I do anything to him that harms him permanently. It's very unlikely that I flip him by just a little tap. I didn't brake so outrageously late that I would arrive at him, that I would crash into him with like 100 kilometers over speed. So I thought, okay, it's like a free move, just try it, and if it goes wrong, you can wait, and that is what I did. It's of course not a particularly pretty moment to watch. I think looking back on it, it wasn't necessary to attempt that, but I did, and yeah, if I didn't, maybe I would have questioned myself whether it would have been possible, maybe, to do something outrageous, because I had the higher downforce setup, so I had some hope that I could break later than him, even though it turned out not to be the case. And anyhow, I waited for him, and he got a very deserved victory. I think if we as a team had started on the soft and maybe went for a little lower downforce, because I think the lower downforce proved to be quite good to get away in the first lap, then maybe the race could have been different. But the way it was, I think he was a very, very deserved winner, and he's definitely back in the championship now.
All right, you've already answered my next question, so yeah, yeah, that's a very comprehensive summary of everything that happened in the last move. Yeah, maybe not pretty, but definitely entertaining. I appreciate it a lot. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, we're going to go through this quickly, so thank you very much. We do have a long queue, and well, good luck for the next race.
Thank you.
All right, and then we'll go to his teammate, Domska, who finished P3 today. Hello, Domska.
Hey, Vindict.
How are you doing after that race? It's a bit of a different story for you, I think, but I think you have a lot to talk us through.
Yeah, I'm not doing well, if I'm honest. It's I don't know if someone said it already to you, but after the first pit stop, I had soft on the fronts and mediums on the rear, and I didn't know that because I don't know how that happened. Maybe I misclicked, or maybe the game had a new bug that I got the pleasure to experience. And my car was horrible with that combo. I had so much front end. My car was oversteering so much, and I think I lost a second a lap to Dikra at some point in the race. And yeah, overall, with third place, it's not too bad, but I know the pace that I had, and then yeah, that's a little bit disappointing that something like that destroyed my race. Also, I overshot my pit box, but Dika and Stahu also did, so that would have evened out. But yeah, that with the tires was yeah, race breaking.
It's kind of funny that the entire top three overshot that pit box and I got none of it. That's unfortunate, but that's yeah, that's a really unfortunate. A brand new bug, possibly, or a misclick, I should said. I don't even know if that's possible in normal circumstances. It's very unfortunate that happened. Regardless, I think a lot of people would put that into a wall, and you managed to claw home a P3 after all that. So really, that's something positive to take away from that.
Yeah, it's damage limitation, I guess. But now I have 10 points to Dikra, and now it's a little bit harder to catch him. You know, Monster is next, and Monster will be a little bit weird, I think, because the S will be so strong there. So anyone can win this. Also, I think you overtaking there will be funny. I don't think that you can train for that race really, that you can practice for that race really. So that will be a random result, and after that, we will see. I know Sao Paulo is a track that Dikra doesn't like, and there's rain in the beginning, so we will see what there happens. But yeah, the task championship will be a lot harder now. But everything is possible in motor racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything can happen in Formula One, of course, and it usually does, as the saying goes. So yeah, thank you for that summary. We'll go through it quickly because I'm realizing the race is happening soon. So yeah,
Yes.
Thank you very much. And we'll blitz through the rest of the grid. Let's go to Randers, who finished P4. If he is available. Yeah, hello, Randers.
Thank you for saying the words of the best commentator, second best commentator after you, of course.
I was gonna say, I can kick you out. No. How was the race
Good
for
evening.
you? Yeah, good evening. How was the
Oh,
race?
I'm pretty happy. Over the whole week, I didn't know if I could participate because of work, and I also had a 5-second penalty going into the race. So finishing P4 is really, really exciting after not knowing if I could even participate and not even driving the practice session today. So yeah, really, really good result.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, after your win in Spain, of course, this being a best of the rest result for you. Tell us something in the race that happened that really helped you to get that result, because well, we got some of that. It's been very exciting in the front as well, so it could very easily be lost to people. So talk to us through that quickly.
Yeah, in the first stint, we had group fighting going on with Dustin, Sorrow, me, and the two Lotus a bit. And I think I was really, really careful all the time because after the last races, was always something happened with me. I didn't wanna overdo it again, so I was kind of in a waiting position, see how the race would go. And after the pit stops, I think something happened between Dustin Sorrow and Kafala in the back, which helped me to be in front of them by quite some margin. And it was kind of a lonely race from them, but it was a time trial race in a way, because I had a 5-second penalty. And I was looking back and seeing Gary and Sorrow being 5 to 7 seconds behind me. So I was always looking at the dashboard how far the gap is.
Yeah,
My
all
soft
right.
tires in the end, I was doing like 3 stints on softs were really done. So it was really, really close with Gary, who I think had fresher tires.
Yeah, of course, with that 5 second gap. Yeah, at the end, the 6 second gap. So yeah, you got it just right. So yeah, we'll blitz through it. But thank you very much for that, keeping us up to date, Randers, and congratulations on your P4.
Thank you.
We'll swiftly move on to Michael, who finished P6 today. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
How was that race for you?
Very exciting. That was the best race from the whole season
Ooh, explain why.
for me. I had decent pace for and I had lots of fights with Gary, with Silver at the beginning. It was a lot of fun and very nerve-wracking. So it was a good one, and I nearly took some cars out just to the Gary pretty wide after the camel straight. But
Yeah,
yes,
we saw a
Dr.
lot of
Marco
fighting.
will have a word. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw a lot of fighting between you three Red Bull drivers trying to fight it out. Yeah, but in the end, very good result for you. Moves you up to P9 in the standings, 24 points, which is equal to, I think, two other drivers, Sorrow and
Okay.
Cavalo.
Yeah, what a shame. Sorrow had a disconnect at the end.
Oh,
I
it's
think
disconnect.
3 laps to go. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll hear more from him later, but that's very unfortunate to hear. Regardless, very good race from you. Do you expect to continue this form?
I don't know. I hope I can. I did massive setup changes. Basically, I got back to the stock setup, to the default settings, and that was a good thing to do. I didn't know what to do with the other setup, so I went back to the default, and that helped a lot.
Yeah, so there's things like that can help a lot. Just reset and work from there. So yeah. Thank you very much for that for the short interview, and good luck for next race.
Thank you.
Very good result today.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Next person, Dustin, who finished P8. Hello, Dustin.
Actually, I think P7.
P7.
Yes.
Were you ahead of Cavlor at the end?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe
I overtook him in the last lap.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
How did that race go for you?
Cursed. Absolutely cursed the whole season. I had a very good qualification. I don't know if you saw my qualification and the tactics I used for the lap. I could have gone even quicker, but didn't get it right. Um, so I definitely had a chance to get the pole position for really the first time this season, and I was really looking forward for the race. I started on soft and hadn't. I was on the wrong side of the grid at the start because I immediately lost a position there. But then I thought, okay, I still can fight for a win or podium or whatever. But unfortunately, I was so much in traffic that I couldn't. When runners overtook Sorrow, you know, Sorrow was braking earlier than me, and I missed just the braking point a bit from his side. I was normally braking a bit later there. I locked up my tires and had a little contact to him, which lost him also a bit. Yeah, I may have had a bit of damage, which MS2 wasn't showing to me. Um, so a couple laps after that, I was going to softs again, but I had less grip than in the beginning. So I had a little spin in the last corner. So I found myself behind Gary again. So he overtook me. I overtook him back. He overtook me. Then Michael tried to overtake me. Yeah, it was a interesting situation because he tried to overtake us both after the chemistry, and I was just braking and thinking this can go so wrong. It nearly did. Thankfully, it didn't. Um, then I overtook Gary again, but then I drove to the gravel track with the left side tire, and I stuck there, and I was like, oh, are you serious? So a couple of laps later, I pitted again for softs. It was good. I was fighting against Matthias Kaffelauer and Markus.
Mhm.
And Kaffelauer unfortunately crashed into us both in chemistry, and that's where Markus retired. And
Yep,
I had
I saw
also
that.
more damage. Yeah. Yeah, I needed to recover then. So I pitted again for softs. You see the pattern there.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
tried my best. And in the last few laps, I saw that for Silver, the tires were absolutely gone, were also hit softs. And I thought, okay, pit now for the fastest lap and overtake both again. And it worked. I got the fastest lap, overtook Kavalaur and overtook Silver, who also pitted for probably softs. So, yeah, I had, I feel like this was in terms of pace, my best race, even better than Montreal, but I couldn't show it, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. We caught the big incident as well between you, Marcus, and Capelor. Really unfortunate. It sounds like, despite everything, still finishing P7. He had a good qualifying, so there's a lot of still a couple of good things to take away from what happened in the end.
Yes, I had a very good setup. I think, like I said, I could have definitely challenged for a podium. I felt like I was on pace with Statue or Tikra,
Okay,
so disappointing.
something good to take away, but disappointing result in the end. All right. Well,
Yes,
hopefully that doesn't become even more of a pattern this season, and you'll have a good result next race. Yeah, thank you so much for the interview. And move
no
swiftly
worries.
on.
Thank you.
Then we got the 10th place finisher, Mercury. Hello, Mercury.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing after that race?
Good. Um, I didn't have the nerves to really push. Um, I was cautious from the beginning, and I lost the position to Dimitri at one point, and I was really chasing him, and I was looking for the overtake opportunity, and then there was the crash between Sorrow and Dimitri and one more guy. I don't remember who. And well, then I got into free air and literally overtook Marcus as he had some kind of damage, and something happened in the last couple of laps because I was P11, and then all of a sudden I was P10. But so I'm not entirely sure what
I think
happened.
Sorrow
That's why I
retired
didn't
ahead of
play.
you, so that's what happened.
Ah, yeah,
Unfortunately.
okay.
Yeah.
So this is my second Grand Prix so far, and this is the second time I get a really lucky P10. I would not say that it's deserved, but it is what it is.
Well, I mean, lucky P10 twice in a row sounds like to me that you just got 2 legitimate P10s, so you got 6 points behind your name in the championship. So, yeah, good job.
Yeah, thanks.
And with that, your team with PC Finish also getting 2 points today. You got 11 points in championship total, already over the 10 points, into the double digits. Surely that's good for Sauer.
Oh yeah, Finch wasn't too happy about his race, but I told him that we should be really happy. We got 3 and 2 points, so 5 points in total, and yeah, we should be really happy with it, honestly.
Yeah, congratulations for the 5 points. Absolutely counts for something in the team's championship for sure, and your own 3 points, of course, in your championship. Also very good. Thank you for the short interview, and I've got one more person after you.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Bye. And finally, our final retirement. It disconnects on one of the later laps. It's Sorrow. How are you doing?
Hello. Not well.
All right, thanks for no. Yeah, what happened? Talk us through it.
So in general, this was Hockenheim to the power of 2. Basically, this was the best pace, the best I've felt behind the wheel since Catalonia. The track suited me incredibly. I felt so good behind the wheel. Got P5 in qualifying, could have been better, but it was still a very good position. Got a great start, and yeah, the first stint was very good. I was DRS sharing with the Lotuses, with Randers, but then Dustin proved that he basically doesn't know how to behave, how to brake in the heavy traffic, because for the second race in a row he smashed into the back of me while braking into a slow corner. And yeah, this time I'll be definitely reporting that. First time, okay, I can accept this, but this is second race in a row that this has happened, and also because of that I lost position to Randers. Then a couple of laps later we both pitted for a new set of softs. And when we came out of the pits, we were just ahead of Mercury and Dimitri. And Dimitri had a fantastic idea to race the leaders who just pitted for fresh tires. Instead of waiting, he decided to cost us and himself more time. And yeah, despite me leaving him plenty of space, he still managed to crash into me. So from that point on, yeah, I lost 3 seconds to Dustin. I also, yeah, I was stuck on older tires and with no undercut possibility on the top guys I was racing previously. Fortunately for me, Dustin spun out, so at least a bit of karma got him. But then, yeah, I had a very lone race. Yeah, I would have got a easy P5. I actually forgot about Rander's penalty. So yeah, at the last stint, I was just saving tires. I hit a fantastic, very consistent pace. For three laps in a row, I did a 148.6 because yeah, I was driving to the delta, basically saving my tires for the end to hold off Geralt, who had 1 lap fresher tires than me. But then with 2 laps to go, I got disconnected. So that's just my luck.
Yeah, as a cherry on top, after things didn't go your way, you thought, I'm recovering all right. The final result would not be that bad. It gets taken away from you. It must be gutting. I think I hear the frustration in your voice. I think it's also exaggerated by the fact that last race didn't go your way either. So yeah, very unfortunate series of events. But yeah, looking forwards next race to Monza. Are you feeling okay there?
I mean, Monza is unfortunately the most similar track to Montreal on the calendar, so I feel like I'm not gonna perform as well there. But Monza, unlike Canada, is all about DRS and slipstream games, so I feel like that race will be won by not the fastest guy, but the smartest one. And I hope that I will be the smartest one. But after today, I'm not expecting anything. This was looking at the second half of the season, this was my best chance probably to get a podium. Only other racetrack that I feel like will suit me so much is Suzuka, and yeah, I'm gonna focus on that race to at least get a good result there.
All right. Well, yeah. Even if the result today is what you wanted, then we got next race to look forward to. Suzuka. So still good. Two good tracks for you. Yeah. Hopefully it goes better for you. No more bad luck. And yeah, thank you so much for the interview. Now get ready for the actual F1 race in 10 minutes. So we're wrapping up quickly. Yeah, if you've been watching, thank you so much. Don't forget to follow if you want to get notifications for when the races start. If you've got Twitch Prime, like press the subscribe button. Otherwise, I don't really care for subscribers. Doing this for the love of the series. All right, thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.